Okay. Um, this is the experiment report template. So um, I will send this to your email. You should receive them already on the week 9 graded task. Okay, sorry, I made a mistake. It should be week 9, not week 10. Okay. So what you do is, okay, the aim should be the same, and we all have the same aim to investigate the energy changes in the bouncing ball. Then the next section will be the background theory. So what you need to do is you need to write down, okay, the physics concept behind this experiment. Okay. So and your setup of the experiment. Okay. So basically, to make it simple, you need to write all this down. Okay. Summarize all this down in your own words. Okay. And provide a photograph or diagram of your setup, whether you're using basketballs or baseballs, whatever. Okay. Now, yeah, the details are there, and you need to basically, and also, if I can show you, I also attach the rubric. You need to use the rubric. Okay. So background theory, you need to introduce all the necessary formulas, all the variables, the reason behind your setup, and you need to provide diagrams. Okay. So yeah, then we have apparatus. It's all the materials you need to use. So please make them in dot points and label how many you used. Okay, so for the method part, you need to provide the step-by-step method, like what we did in last semester, what you did in step 1, step 2. Okay. Now, the important thing is for the results. Okay. Now, I provide a table for you. We have trial 1, trial 2, and trial 3. Okay. So, say if this is the raw data for the initial balls, sorry, initial throw. Oh yeah, the other idea is you can try with different uh, you can try with a different ball, different mass of the balls or the different height. Okay, starting height. I use 1 meter as an example, but however you can use 2 meters or 1.5 meters depending on the size of your ball and how you want to design it. Okay. So the idea is now because we're using a phone camera, the camera is not a high-speed camera. So when I drop the ball, it bounces back. Okay. And what you need to do is you need to do it 3 times and calculate it, measure the height, maximum height. Okay. Um, 3 times and then find the average value. Okay. So yep, row 1 will be, say maybe you drop from 1 meter high, the other one will be drop from half-meter high or 0.8 meter high. So uh, do some more measurements. Okay, so this is just example. It's entirely up to you how do you measure it, but what you need to you need to have 3 trials when measuring the final height. Then you need to do your calculation. Okay. You have now the other thing is, okay, in your final report, in your results section, you only need to write down the raw data. Okay. There's no calculation involved in the results section. Okay. After you have your raw data collected, you can do your calculations in the calculation section. Okay. So once you make a calculation, you need to show in at least one example, say how you find the average, uh, how you find the uncertainties, how did you find the initial energy, absorbed energy, and energy lost. You need to show at least uh, one set of calculations by showing formulas and methods. After you did your calculation, then you can have a graph. Okay. This is a graph I copied down from Google. It's not relevant to this experiment, but the idea is you need to have your label, you need to have your x-axis labeled, y-axis labeled, and a graph. Okay. The graph can be constructed in Excel. However, yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is an example how you're going to show your calculations. Okay, so you need to provide a formula, input the numbers, and find the value with the units. Okay, then you can have your discussion. Okay, now discussion is the part when you discussing your results. Okay, after collecting the results, after doing the calculations, after having the graph, you can talk about it. Okay, for example, graph 1, what is graph 1, and what it shows. So I have all the example here, just follow the procedure, and then you have evaluation. Evaluation is when you talk about errors, okay, whether human errors or random errors. Also, how do we improve it in future? Okay. For instance, okay, it can be improved hugely by calculating, well, by using a better camera, okay, using a high-speed camera. But you can talk about all this there. Then you make your conclusion. Okay. Then you have to provide a reference. When you provide in reference, you can use your DECV notes, your textbook, or website, or YouTube videos. Okay? But make sure you have at least 4 references in this experiment.